Cristiano Ronaldo, a name that means more than just football. Behind every goal, there's a story. Behind every tear, there's passion. Today, we relive the moments that showed us not just the athlete, but the man behind the legend. It all began in 2004. A young Ronaldo, only 19, playing his first major final for Portugal at the Euros. When the final whistle blew, Portugal had lost. Ronaldo broke down in tears, not out of weakness, but out of promise. That night he silently vowed to come back stronger, and one day to lift that trophy. Fast forward to 2008, the Champions League final in Moscow. Ronaldo scored a beautiful goal for Manchester United, but later missed his penalty in the shootout. The camera caught it all, fear, guilt, and hope in his eyes. When United eventually won, his tears told a story of relief and redemption. Even in victory, the pressure of greatness was written across his face. Then came 2016, Euro final, Portugal versus France. Ronaldo, the captain, went down injured early in the match. As he sat on the ground, crying, it felt like his dream was ending. But even from the sidelines, he turned into a leader, shouting, motivating, coaching his teammates. And when Portugal finally won, his tears were not of pain this time, but of pure triumph. 2018 World Cup, Portugal versus Uruguay. The final whistle blew, and Ronaldo quietly walked off the field. No drama, no gestures, just silence. You could see the heartbreak, the realization that maybe this was his last World Cup. Fans around the world felt that pain with him. Then came the day he said goodbye to Real Madrid. 9 years, 450 goals, countless memories. Standing at the Santiago Bernabeu, fighting back tears as he said, "Thank you." Madrid wasn't just a club to him, it was home. His early days at Juventus weren't easy either. No goals in his first few games, endless criticism, doubts from all sides. But when he finally scored and looked up to the sky, it wasn't just celebration. It was gratitude, relief, and silent defiance. The message was clear: I'm not done yet. Then came the 2022 World Cup, the moment no one expected. Ronaldo, sitting on the bench, eyes filled with emotion. A global superstar, now a substitute. When the match ended, he walked down the tunnel in tears. For fans, that wasn't just a player crying, it was the end of an era. But champions never stay down for long. With Al Nassr, when Ronaldo scored his first goal and celebrated with his trademark "Siu," it felt like a rebirth. It was more than a celebration, it was a statement. I'm still here. And then, the most emotional moment of all. After the tragic loss of his baby son, Ronaldo returned to the pitch. The entire stadium stood and applauded, his eyes filled with tears. A father, a fighter, a man standing tall through unimaginable pain. In that moment, football wasn't just a sport. It was life itself. Ronaldo's journey reminds us that even the strongest fall, but they rise again. His tears tell us about love, loss, and the unbreakable spirit of a champion. Because in the end, Ronaldo doesn't just score goals. He touches hearts. After every victory, there comes a storm of doubt, and Ronaldo has lived through many of them. The world expected him to be perfect every single time he stepped on the pitch. One missed shot, one bad game, and critics would question his legacy. Yet each time he answered them not with words, but with goals. And with that unmistakable fire in his eyes, that resilience, that hunger, is what sets him apart from the rest. There was a moment during his time at Manchester United when his father's health was declining. Ronaldo was still young, still growing into the superstar we know today. He couldn't be by his father's side because of the distance and the demands of football. When his father passed away, Ronaldo said later, "I wish he could have seen what I became." That one sentence, that quiet regret, showed the side of Ronaldo that fame can't protect. A son who just wanted to make his father proud. Years later, when he lifted the Ballon d'Or for the first time, his emotions overflowed. Standing on that stage, in front of the world, holding the golden trophy in his hands, he broke into tears. Because behind that shining moment were years of sacrifice, loneliness, and relentless training. It wasn't just about being the best player. It was about proving that his hard work, his pain, and his belief meant something. Then came his rivalry with Lionel Messi, perhaps the greatest sporting duel ever seen. It wasn't just about competition, it was about legacy, respect, and pride. For over a decade, both men pushed each other to new heights, and yet, despite the rivalry, there were moments of mutual admiration. A handshake, a smile, a glance that said, "You made me better." That mutual respect was a quiet kind of emotion, one that fans often missed, but Ronaldo never denied. Another deeply emotional chapter came during his return to Manchester United in 2021, the homecoming that felt like destiny. Old Trafford roared his name once again, and when he scored that first goal back in a red shirt, the stadium shook. You could see it in his face. He was home again. But soon the joy turned to frustration as the club struggled and the dream began to fade. The interviews, the headlines, the heartbreak. It was clear that even legends can feel trapped in the weight of expectations. When Ronaldo left United for the second time, it wasn't with anger, it was with sadness. The same place that made him a star now became a painful memory. But that's the story of life, isn't it? The places that make us who we are can also be the ones that hurt us most. His quiet goodbye was not just a career move, it was an emotional closure. One of the most touching moments came during his time at Real Madrid, when he scored a hat-trick against Atletico and looked to the stands, shouting, "I'm here!" The tears in his eyes weren't arrogance, they were defiance. Every time the crowd doubted him, he responded with greatness. That passion, that fire, is